On a typical evening, the air buzzing with anticipation at Chicago's guaranteed rate field, a familiar scene was unfolding. The stadium lights illuminated the field, casting long shadows across the manicured grass. The Arizona Diamondbacks were in town, ready to lock horns with the Chicago White Sox in what promised to be an exciting interleague matchup. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, it was baseball as usual. But as the game progressed, settling into the seventh-inning stretch, the familiar rhythm of the game was abruptly shattered. The collective energy of the stadium shifted, replaced by a palpable tension. The joyous atmosphere was pierced by something far uglier and more insidious than a routine error or a questionable call. It was a stark reminder that the boundaries of acceptable behavior can sometimes be tragically blurred. From the stands, a fan positioned near the Diamondbacks dugout crossed a line. He directed a cruel, personal insult at Arizona's star second baseman, Ketel Marte, sinking to a deeply offensive level by targeting his late mother. It was a low blow, a violation of the unspoken code of respect that should exist, even in the heat of competition. The vile words, amplified by the relative quiet between plays, cut through the stadium air like a knife, instantly impacting Marte, leaving him visibly shaken and struggling to maintain his composure. The impact was immediate and devastating. The pain was evident as tears welled up in his eyes, a clear sign of the deep emotional wound inflicted by the fan's callous remark. In that instant, the game transcended its usual boundaries. It wasn't just about baseball anymore, the score, or the standings. It became a powerful reminder of our shared humanity and the importance of empathy and respect, even in the most competitive environments. Diamondbacks manager Torey Lovullo, witnessing the distress of his player, immediately intervened, his protective instincts kicking in. He didn't hesitate, stepping onto the field to stand beside Marte, offering both physical and emotional support. Lovullo then turned his attention to the heckler, determined to confront him and make it clear that such behavior would not be tolerated. He was joined by bench coach Jeff Bannister, both men united in their outrage and determination to defend their player. Lovullo, with unwavering resolve, pointed out the offending fan to stadium security personnel, firmly demanding his immediate removal from the ballpark. There was no room for debate. The line had been crossed. The incident sent visible shockwaves through the entire ballpark, a ripple effect of disbelief and disgust spreading through the stands. It served as a stark reminder, exposing the darker, uglier underbelly that can sometimes lurk within the passionate world of sports fandom. Play was momentarily suspended, the energy of the game completely deflated. All eyes in the stadium, and likely many watching at home, were glued to the unfolding human drama near third base, a scene far removed from the usual excitement of the game. It was a poignant moment, forcing everyone present to confront a difficult question. Where exactly is the line that separates spirited heckling from outright harassment and abuse? The answer on that unforgettable night at Rate Field was painfully, undeniably clear for all to see. To truly understand the depth of Ketel Marte's pain, the raw emotion that surfaced in that moment, we need to delve into his past. We need to understand the profound loss that shaped him, the enduring grief that he carries with him every single day, both on and off the field. You have to go back to 2017, a year that brought both professional milestones and unimaginable personal tragedy for Marte. It was a year of promise, a year where his career was gaining momentum, but also a year forever etched in his memory with the pain of loss. It was then that his mother, Elpidia Valdez, a central figure in his life and his biggest supporter, was tragically killed in a car accident in the Dominican Republic. This sudden and unexpected loss sent shockwaves through his world. Her loss left a void, an emptiness that seemed impossible to fill. The pain of losing his mother was a heavy burden for him to carry. That void was so profound that no amount of baseball success, no matter how great, could ever truly fill it. The roar of the crowd, the thrill of victory, none of it could replace the love and support he had lost. Marte often credits his mother for instilling in him his unwavering work ethic and incredible perseverance, qualities that have defined his career. She was the driving force behind his dedication. And now her memory serves as his constant driving force, pushing him forward even in the face of adversity. He plays for her, honoring her memory with every swing and every play. Every achievement since her passing is tinged with a profound sense of sadness, a bittersweet reminder of who is not there to share in his triumphs. It's a silent tribute to the one person who is forever missing from the stands, the one person whose presence he feels with every game, every hit, every moment. That's precisely why the heckler's words were so devastating, so deeply cutting. They weren't just words, they were a calculated attack. They weaponized Marte's deepest wound, exploiting his most vulnerable point with callous disregard. This wasn't just typical trash talk, the kind of banter that's often exchanged between players and fans. It was a deliberate act of cruelty, a calculated attempt to inflict maximum emotional damage. The incident served as a stark reminder to everyone that athletes, despite their fame, their fortune, and their seemingly superhuman abilities, are still human beings and are therefore not immune to pain, to grief, to the sting of loss. Marte's tears weren't a sign of weakness, a display of fragility. They were, in fact, a powerful testament to the enduring strength of love and the profound impact of loss. The fans' intrusion into that sacred space, the baseball field where Marte finds solace and purpose, was a profound violation of respect. It was a public display of private grief, a raw and unfiltered moment of vulnerability laid bare for all to see. And it resonated far beyond the confines of the baseball field, sparking a conversation about empathy, respect, and the human side of sports. In a moment that transcended the game itself, Torey Lovullo's response was immediate. There was no hesitation, no second-guessing. His instincts took over, and he reacted with a speed and decisiveness that spoke volumes about his character. In that instant, he became more than a manager. He became a protector, a shield against negativity and disrespect. He stepped into a role that went beyond the dugout, embodying the values of loyalty and unwavering support. Seeing Marte's distress, the visible pain etched across his face, fueled Lovullo's resolve even further. Lovullo walked onto the field, his stride purposeful, his focus unwavering. He was on a mission to stand by his player. Lovullo didn't just approach. He deliberately put himself between his player and the source of pain, creating a physical barrier against further abuse. It was a powerful statement of solidarity. He comforted Marte, offering words of encouragement and understanding. He was offering support not just as a coach, providing tactical advice or strategic adjustments, but as a caring human being, acknowledging the emotional toll of the situation. In post-game interviews, his voice resonated with conviction. Lovullo called the fans' comments disgusting, his words carrying the weight of his disappointment and disapproval. He made it clear, there's no place for personal attacks in baseball, emphasizing that the game should be a source of joy and unity, not a platform for hateful speech. He and Jeff Bannister quickly identified the fan to security, ensuring that action would be taken swiftly and decisively. Insisting on his removal, sending a clear message that such behavior would not be tolerated within the stadium. Lovullo's actions set a precedent, establishing a new standard for how players should be treated and defended. It was a firm declaration that abuse would not be tolerated, and his players' well-being came first, above any game or victory. His leadership philosophy is built on respect and family, creating a supportive and inclusive environment for everyone involved. And that night, he lived it, demonstrating the true meaning of those values through his actions. Every player saw that their manager would defend them, standing up for them in the face of adversity, no matter the cost, reinforcing the bond of trust and loyalty within the team. Lovullo's stand wasn't just about one player. It was a statement about the kind of environment he wanted to foster within the team. It was about the integrity of the sport and the importance of treating each other with dignity and respect. He showed that protecting his team's humanity, their emotional and mental well-being, mattered more than any scoreboard, any win or loss, any statistic or record. That's the mark of true leadership, prioritizing people over performance and standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult. As the incident unfolded, the Diamondbacks' closed ranks around Marte the dugout, usually buzzing with energy, became a place of quiet solidarity. Geraldo Perdomo, Marte's close friend, was first to offer comfort, understanding the deep pain behind the insult. Other teammates followed, forming a protective circle, no cameras, just genuine compassion. The team gave Marte space, but also made sure he knew he wasn't alone. Even the White Sox players and umpires showed patience and understanding. When Marte returned to the batter's box, the encouragement from his dugout was palpable. Every player was on the top step sending a clear message, "We have your back." The unity transformed a moment of pain into a powerful display of team strength. The incident, as ugly as it was, only strengthened the Diamondbacks' bond. In sports, as in life, the greatest strength comes from standing together. After the game, support for Marte didn't stop in the dugout. Geraldo Perdomo spoke out, condemning the fans' behavior and calling for a lifetime ban. His words reflected the outrage and protective instincts of the entire team. Perdomo emphasized that athletes are human beings with real feelings and families. Other players echoed his sentiments, reinforcing their support for Marte and their commitment to respect. The clubhouse was united. This was about more than baseball. The players used their platform to demand a safer, more respectful environment for all athletes. Their collective voice turned a painful moment into a teaching moment for the sports world. By speaking out, they shifted the narrative from a single incident to a broader call for empathy. Their solidarity made it clear, cruelty has no place in the game. The Chicago White Sox responded swiftly, ejecting the fan and issuing a public condemnation. They didn't make excuses. They banned the fan from all future games at their ballpark. This decisive action sent a clear message: hateful rhetoric won't be tolerated. Major League Baseball backed the White Sox, reinforcing a league-wide standard of zero tolerance for personal abuse. The incident sparked broader discussions about protecting players from fan misconduct. The White Sox's response was widely praised as the right move. MLB reiterated its commitment to player safety and respect. The ban served as a warning. Attending a game is a privilege, not a right. The combined response showed that the integrity of the game depends on everyone's behavior. Swift, meaningful consequences are the new standard. The fan who insulted Marte was quickly ejected and banned from the ballpark. His actions, caught on camera, became a national story about cruelty in sports. The ban stripped him of the privilege to watch his team in person, a lasting consequence. Reports later surfaced that he expressed remorse, but the harm was already done. This incident is a cautionary tale. Crossing the line from heckling to abuse has real repercussions. In today's connected world, poor judgment in public can lead to public shame and lasting penalties. The fan's remorse, if genuine, is a small step, but it doesn't erase the pain caused. The story forces all fans to confront the impact of their words. Athletes are real people, with real families and real pain. Respect is not optional. It's the price of admission. The confrontation at Wright Field was a public lesson in empathy. It exposed the human cost of fan misconduct. Athletes are not just entertainers, but people with vulnerabilities. Marte's tears shattered the illusion that players are immune to pain. The line between passionate heckling and abuse is too often blurred. What Marte endured was not banter. It was targeted, personal, and deeply harmful. Such behavior poisons the atmosphere and can have lasting psychological effects. Athletes are expected to perform under pressure, but not to endure attacks on their deepest traumas. The mental health of players is as important as their physical health. This story is a reminder. Our words have power, and they can cause real harm. Being a good fan means cheering with passion, but always with respect for the humanity of those on the field. The events at Wright Field are a call to action for the sports world. It's time to redefine the fan-athlete relationship. Players are not objects, but people deserving of respect. Sports organizations must enforce strict codes of conduct with real consequences for abuse. The White Sox set the standard with their swift response. The media also plays a role, highlighting stories that humanize athletes and educate fans. But real change starts with the fans themselves. Each person in the stands chooses the atmosphere they create. We can be passionate, but we must lead with decency. The story of Ketel Marte is a reminder of the difference between clever support and cruel abuse. Let's cheer loud, but always with empathy. The future of sports depends on it.